of Boat brother Joshua Ansa, and then we have Dr. Nobodonko as their chair. When they meet, they will appoint their own secretary to take notes, and then they will present their report to this body, either hopefully tomorrow morning or anytime tomorrow when they are ready to present a report. At this stage, I will ask there if we can have a motion. One person can, so that we can vote on the names. Okay, any seconder? Okay, if you are here and I've mentioned your name, we would like you to stand. So, Elder Enoch, Elder Lapi, Sister Ellen, Dr. Donko, Brother Joshua. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Pastor Eric is not here at the moment, but he's one of them. So thank you very much. We hope that the Lord guides them in their work. Amen. What's the sound cover? We finance and which didn't cover when she into them the motion I seconded one all in favor, show by hands. Any against? Okay, it's carried. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm saying you are my late, you know. Time we are chassis and temo. Then home running away. No one may see. Yeah, almost next time they will be on time, right? All right, here in Umreno. And penny 40 miles 7 count 7 year. Member retention and reclaim. Do's and don'ts. This is a very, very important topic. Now, I'm going to tell you why. When you say by God has blessed us with many, many important messages from Dr. Amwa and I think this afternoon, Dr. Nyame, and then our ladies who did the morning devotion. Very good presentations. So this is just a small tip that I'm going to add to some those good presentations. This is very, very important. And I'm going to put the picture as to why this is important. And commit my I'm saying, I'm not sure. Have you been translating or my sister understands? You do? All right. So maybe pastors will be a little translation. Member retention. A chance say nipa ba sori mu a ekwan e befa so a ye mu matenam no maso aba. And then because a member reclaim and as a member reclamation, so what it means is that ye nuanom a o ma jai kono wo mo so e kon be do se o be san ba. Se san ni ma mienu be yi a there are some rules. There are some do's and don'ts. Yana ye hwen kwara no so say about time for any brent mo ben wo mu a na mo boa wo na junior monye ni phone on pa bi ntina aya about time for na mo boa wo mu na bibi e koso kama. All right, and so as I'm saying, we just want to discuss this. Member retention and reclamation is very, very important in our church. In the next slide, I'm going to give you some statistical background why this topic is very important in North America here. It's important in Canada here, and especially in Alberta here. Let me just go to our next slide. Even though it's a bit dark, and even the PowerPoint is shaking a little bit. So on this one, I'm talking about at issue. Assemble crown or hontia here say you can't say we want some. Adding crown you can't here second member retention and reclamation. The issue is say there is declining church membership in North America. Maybe that one for North America ha. Yes, it's very important. More last, more better come meeting. Say conference president give you some statistics. I'm going to just paint a picture for us. Into here picture now, I saw that is hono. In fact, this is what we are seeing in Europe. Oko Europe is here. The churches are empty. Not Adventist church alone, or from Roman Catholic, Methodist, all of them are becoming empty. In fact, I have seen pictures of churches that have been sold to nightclubs and then restaurants. Window paintings near the they are now serving alcohol and doing all sorts of things in those buildings. This is what we're going to face in North America here. And see, let me give you some numbers in perspective. Declining membership. No? What is the current world population? Why in him? We are saying 8 billion. 8 billion. This world, we are 8 billion. Now, number of SDAs in this world, yes, saying, oh, what catch you do? 20 crowds. We are now 22 million. Maybe 22 crowds probably is a bit lagging behind. So let's say 22 million. We live in a world where we are 8 billion people. 7-day Adventists worldwide, we are 22 million. That's the world. Let's come down. Let's come back home. North America, often say US and Canada together. We are 1.1 million. Okay? 1.1 million out of the 22. Which means North America, Canada and US, we are about 345 million. Out of 345 million, we are 1.1 million. Yamra Canada, Canadian Union, all the conferences in Canada. Who can guess how many we are? Oh, fact checked me. That's perfect. 74,000 in Canada. The whole of Canada. Canada population, last month or so, we reached 40 million. Out of 40 million, we are 74,000 Adventists in Canada. The province where we are now, Alberta province, Adventists, 12,000. 12,000. Calgary, Moya saying, Eda Enoch. Can Kwara church when you for Nuna come in Aka Moya saying. Okay. Alberta, 12,000. Calgary, 60. Sister Ida, Edmonton, Moya saying. Can you for no phone in Aka home? I say among 60. That's good. 120. Many band they only pay accurate numbers. Oh. Around 50. All right, that's fine. That's fine. So I'm painting a picture for us. This is very important. I'm painting a picture for us. Now, if you look at the PowerPoint now, in the middle, I'm not sure what I can do this. Hey, more yet. I'll be from you. Oh boy. I was trying to get a. Anyway, we made the those of us who are familiar with a better map, Windows no home some kese bi ato a map no I track corner biba from one. That's a better map. I'm going to paint the picture for us. The population of Adventists in Abera, we said is what 12,000. Okay, and I'm the Ghana map. I have put Ghana map in the middle of Abera map. Can you see the Ghana map in the middle? Okay. And so Ghana, the size of Ghana is 238,555 square kilometers. With your if you cry, can I say 238,000 square kilometers? That's Ghana size. It's very small. The size of Abera is 668,848 square kilometers. So Abera, the province of Abera alone, is 2.8 times the size of Ghana. I'm going to tell you why this topic is very important. Abera, 2.8 times the size of Ghana. Abera Adventist, 12,000. Who can guess Ghana, the Adventist membership in Ghana? Okay, somebody is fact checking me. That's very good. 342,000. Look at that small Ghana. 342,000 members, Adventists. Abera, 12,000. So I want you to see the picture. See, that's the context. So, if you are thinking about the church, the Adventist church in Abera, the Adventist churches in Calgary, the Adventist churches in Edmonton, think in those terms. Okay? We live in a large area with a small membership. Okay? Think about that. Which means that every single soul in this province is so precious. I'm not saying the ones in Ghana and other places are not precious. There are many, they are precious. But here, more precious because of the numbers. We are not growing. I'm going to paint another picture for you. So you see Ghana, 342,000. Abera, 12,000. Now this next line will blow your head. Population of Ghana is about 40 million, probably the same as Canada here. 33. Oh, yeah, all right. So, 33, that's very good. So you can see in perspective, 33 million, we have 342. That's a large number. You have Abera province, probably 3 million. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. About 4. All right. So I know the stats are not, the comparisons are not very well done, but I'm saying that we are only few here. Okay. But this next one, don't forget. Let me just go back and create another picture here. What did I say was the population of Adventists in North American division? What did I say? No, North American division, not a better province or Canadian Union. North American division, 1.1. Okay, 1.1 million. And here's the start. Since 1965, that's a long time ago. Okay, almost 60 years. If you join all the 60 years together, 16 million Adventists in North America here have left. Okay, so divide the 16 million by 60. You see how many leave every year. We have 1.1 left, and over the years, every year, people leave. Well, next one. 40% of all the people who come to our church live by the back door. So if we baptize 100 at the end of the year, 40 will go away. Nobody will notice. As if that's not even bad. 50% of our youth leave these churches by the time they reach 20. 50%. And so member retention and reclamation is very, very important, because we are not doing well. As far as wanna say YouTube TV Moti, membership is about 1,400. Sorry, nobody will know. Obi and Frau. Nobody will call you, because 1,400 is enough. 1,400 compared to 60 and 50 now. That's what we are talking about. And the last point I want to make on this slide is say, over the last 20 years, evangelistic efforts in our church has been going down. In our church means North American church. Nyamsamka. Why na nyamsem? You come for inkwa. By and large. In fact, churches now, kakrana aka hono nyina dodo na ye tukofo na say immigrants e buy. And yes, anka North American ke actually from zero. Because obieja, sorry. And what do we do? And I'm going to point a few things. I mean, so we can ask questions. What church member nurture and answer retention and reclaiming former members now? I just wanted to use 3 stories. The pictures are not very clear, but in Luke 15, the 3 parables in Luke 15. They're lost. So I'm going to say they're lost, and then you feel it. And never mean son or Luke 15. They're lost what? Sheep. That's one. They're lost coin, and then they're lost son. All right. And see what is happening now. No, the 3 stories. No, the one on the left near Oba wapra prefia wahone coin. Okay. Wasn't the Bible's neji in a she rejoiced. She called her friends. Let's come and rejoice because I have found my lost coin. Okay? When they briefly, the children say there are members in the church who are lost, but they are still in the church. They are lost within the church. We need to look for them. And some of us are sitting in the pews, but we still need to be found. If it's a coin, there are some members, those of us who are in the church, who are still lost, that we need to be found. And if we are going to find us now, you have to find the do's, you have to find the don'ts, you have to do things right. Okay? Because sheep knows what? Sheep, those who have gone out, they are astray, they don't know that they are lost. They are out there. In fact, these 22 million Adventists in the world now, some of them, their names are simply on the books. Okay, they're out there. They don't know that they are lost. We have to go and reclaim them. And then the lost son, and I said the prodigal son, he knew he was lost. He went out. He knew he was lost. The father was praying every day to bring him back, or for him to come back. He did come back. The father was happy. The older brother, angry. Okay? And so while some of us are happy and busy going to reclaim, some of us get angry when people come back to the church. That's the issue. Some of us, we don't have the spirit of the father, but rather we are like the senior brother or the brother. Why did he come back? He took his part and went and spent. And so that's very important. This is all background to the topic, say why we need to go and reclaim. So I'll go on to the next one. Conserving membership gains. And so when we gain members, we have to find a way to conserve them. Obi ba asɔre mu a. And I like this text, Matthew 23, verse 15. I just cut the first part because Jesus, he was always on the case of the Pharisees, hypocrites. I didn't add that because I'm not going to call us hypocrites. Some of you will be angry with me. And so, ye Ghanaian Adventists, you travel over land and sea to win a single convert. Yes, sorry, one person. I don't know how many people we baptized the last few years. And so we go all the way to Edmonton, Millwoods, North Side, Calgary. We went to South Side, Okotos, all those places to find one soul. And when he or she becomes one of us, we make him or her twice as much a son of a hell as we are. This is a big indictment on us. And see, when one person comes to the church and they watch us, very soon they become like us. Very soon they become argumentative. Very soon they start quarreling with others. Very soon they won't talk to others. And very soon. But we went and spent some time to look for them. And so this is very, very important. Let's go to the next one. God gave me one sermon title that, I wrote that sermon. I don't preach it very often, and I have my reason. Anytime I preach that sermon, something happens. So I take my time to preach that. But tonight, I'm just going to preface it a little bit for you. The picture on the screen, Hey, who can guess? The woman caught in adultery, right? Yes, and so my question is, because I'm not preaching that sermon tonight, that woman and then the Pharisees who caught her, which of them is fortunate and which of them is unfortunate? Who can help me? Which of them is fortunate and which of them is unfortunate? Madam, we a preacher and Tikaza. Why not? The woman. Me no yagin pa. Je no kwa krampo. Ono de ne boni adadi ye hono. But we are fortunate because wabesha Yesu say kwa ye boni bio ai. Na sanko fono Jones or has secretary from Mumina they left. Or has secretary on boni. What is happening now is that in our church, when someone's sins become public, we think that person is unfortunate. But I want to present to you that anybody whose sin is found out, he's actually fortunate because he has opportunity to repent. And those who are engaged in secret sins, any unfortunate sinners. Because obi ehuni na oguso na oye uguso na oye. So uchi anye na Yesu betua asmato. And so what I'm trying to say is that there are people that I'm going to talk about briefly here and there, reclaiming them. And when we are dealing with them now, we have to have the Spirit of Christ. Amen. And the unfortunate sinner, they did too hard. Let's go on. So this liberalism and conservatism continuum. The reason why I'm using this picture is in our church today, when I talk about our church, the World Church today, when someone's sins become open and we are dealing with it, there are churches now. Sorry, Bibi Saba Yankan Wasem. Okay? Bakuna Econo ha Eomen Sabin Gumuhano. I saw no son. And he say Obeja we yere. sɛ wobɛbɔ adwaman, sɛ wobɛfa wobɛbɔ korɔno, sɛ wobɛyɛ dɛn, obi anyɛ hwee. Ɛno yɛ ɔmo de ponti ha no, liberal. Okay? And this is very sad, and it's happening. Okay? Ya sorry we ya ɛwɔ nkyɛn ha yi. Aberanteɛ baako, ɔne mmaa 4 anyim yi ɛwɔ asɔre no mu. Yɛanyɛ no hwee. Ɛna ɔda so nenam wɔtɔ no nnwom yɛ biribiara. Mmaa 4. Mmaa 4 no, baako a n'ani agyen paa na wɔn de ohu tere na wɔwɔre no. 3 no deɛ wɔn ne wɔn mma. Okay? And that's one side. Ɛna yɛwɔ nsonson bi nso a most of our small churches, yɛn churches, Ghanaian churches no, yɛn nso yɛ deɛ na yɛhwɛ ha no. Sɛ oti anyɛ yie, na akɔtɔ bɔne mu, yɛbɛtwe mu. Yɛn nso yɛ deɛ no. No mercy. Okay? Because you have become unfortunate sinner in our minds. But when we are so baby a cross no one of you. The cross is always in the middle. And she the person Shannon so no. And she made so. And she if he saw how could see me and very simple. These words are very quite small near them. You say if you are going to me crying with you, but I'll summarize them. If we saw slide way to the next 7 slides now, I've quoted a few lines from our church manual. As a Bible, Spirit of Prophecy can want some kakra. Say how we deal with how do we deal with them? Into what term say Bible near the income na a man there di pefe say also nyamia sorry. It's me the baby na a hoti. Na fe a assurance duty. The church if members grow indifferent or drift away, the church must seek to reclaim them for the Lord. Obi to boni mana so konechia ye botai pa ne say den yen hwe omu yen form bra. That's our duty. And I'm just paraphrasing some of this. That's our duty. The next one, let's see. Matthew 18, verse 15 to 18. There's a long one. I think say we should know this. We should memorize it. We should internalize this. Say if your brother or sister sins against you, go to him or her. If he or she refuses to listen to you, go to bring 2 or 3 witnesses to help. Okay? Then bring him or her to the church. So there are 3 steps. I'll say this one. Now, baby, a man say bring him to the church. Let him. So when to church now, let him be to you like a heathen or a tax collector. Adventist Bible a definition. Yeah, we have our own interpretation. But I'm going to tell you what Jesus is really talking about. And you know, uzo ni ayo bwana anase yikona nchen wentia for nua ka ho wentia yina fa kwa asore na mpanifo anya okase watwa fa asore nso wentia then onye to we are to gini anase boso sumuni. Okay, the way we interpret it is that okay, the church has spoken to him or her, he or she has walked away, and that's not what Jesus means. Or no say yes to say the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, right? Or no by and also to preach to the poor and downhearted, those people outcast near the Juma way. And what he is saying is so nipano kosa tibianwa. Why to say woman ba we are very woman, Slamon ko. But that's not what we don't do well. We don't do well. Nipa bi say remember say this fellowship binum and I say essential binuma. We just call them as outcasts. You know when you can be a bio. And that's why our numbers are not growing. The next one. And next one, so just yes, purchased by him at an infinite price. And I'm saying, church members have no right to follow their own impulses and inclinations in dealing with fellow members who have erred. Okay? They should not even express their prejudices regarding the erring, for thus they place in other minds the leaven of evil. And see, especially two churches, it so much say. In fact, ecology, no, say animal populations are. So numbers no conform that extent now we are almost becoming extinct. Nyame na boy say sorry 40, 50, 60, it may persist. And you say or dry if you fear any enemy honey idea no. May catch them say more on some coin nan to cut CC as so many idea we all go underground because the numbers are so small. Yeah, and say sorry 1,200 now make a handsome no. I saw we in with that. I'm going to 2 million. And take Muda. In a Musa, but the end, yes, sir. So we have to be very, very careful. Yeah, I can say nipa bi once ambassador should not be with a committee and I say be and I recommending that it has to be the whole church. Okay, the whole church. You can read. Oh, church manual. It's a whole section because this is even worse. Too many words. I usually don't do my PowerPoint that way. I thought say which my kind. Now, where they all can say any paper omo adwen se ye kan bone ho asem a ayemfonso and onyame na maame white to say enyemfonso if you say Joshua time no we say he can kofa sa goodie ne ne manema no omo they search for the sin and threw it out and who has cross a yame na ye churches na e kan bone ho asem no onyame ani je ho woma omo de omo si de opa bia ye na kyem no onyame ani nyi ho opese e ka bone ho ase ne wo ye ka na odom and you heard how they say we no e ka no in common about 2 or 3 na this thing is can you just oh sorry I went too far go back to 6 and when so e ka se we have so much say we say your discipline or 2 types. There will be essential being na fe bi won so this fellowship home and the essential amount of time you can say this fellowship so you 2 to say the say we ba sorry mo we extra ni pepe we should also love those people are there here no I can be say can me ho so be akoton for sum kra no Oba, I said, it's me, you doctor. That's what that point is saying. And call number 7, no. We say no one make us say Sancha will be after be 12 months will be so be a yes, yeah, this fellowship no. Baby, I did about one person can once more slide away, no so say. Some of us again remember the unfortunate sinner. Some of us feel say Senja Obia, and I said this will be no bar, sorry. Oh, no, completely. And you cram to be, and I say, we say, Bible cram can be, and I said, yeah, much cram much be. Yes, Anna, young woman, a canon. Or say, they are not deprived, however, of the privilege of sharing the blessings of the Sabbath school. One more bar, which we teach about school, which one can be. One more, and as a church worship. Your mom any man in church name, but they should take part. And say anybody want to say, or what say, Australian. Say, tuna flash or bar or so Australian. And to Australian bar, like I say, Minia, some I can watch you say, and from so be any. And to money pen feel say, because of what cry tuna. Oh, my sorry, be no could be as forever. Tis obeying a mere dubonos or saba 1 year and tia. I will say, Nina answer, I say, you're born could say, such a wagon. Amen. To answer, we know number 8. This slide is. I'm say, we don't know, it's a quite fast one. When we say, you will be more Juma, so you can't be. I say, I saw so for ni dear Nimu, a bonny Panamania, any idea, and not person might be so. Let's go to the last one. So I say, any panel, ye didn't ye Gina to any idea, being quite fast war. And see, I'm just going to make it simple. I just painted a picture for us there. Onyame Juma, our North America, Hano, and Koye. And she said, Unyamia boy, or nipa a crack, Mama, yeni incomo. The topic, power, with my man, one slide, pay yano, then I will ask for questions. And she, Mumbuzam said, do's and don'ts. If we are going to retain membership, and I say we claim members and one fall away now, what do we do? What are some of the don'ts? What are some of the do's and don'ts? Here's my answer. What I'm saying is we have to use the golden rule. Okay? Golden rule. Golden rule is saying, do unto others what you want others do unto you. It's as simple as that. And the same one said, Sauna Okobo Jamai, and a chill, and a disfellowship war. And how do you want the church members to treat you? It's as simple as that. Okay? 2. Sauna Woba Ekoye Bibi and a sorana a pamona. And how would you feel? Okay? And we are not so for church. Sauna Woba a struggle with ye. Onyamia dum akran se dad ne de me no be kwasore ebema buy o hair asumade o twa mpese na se wona oba no na se elder bia sebi onsu ade ko gina se wodi we be de waso ha nsia bio. How would you feel? And he asem no nyina na ye ka no de on pese enkofo ye ma won ayeden enye won sa mama nsua de mama amenu make a chamo onyame adom yen se pese nye se Ghana nsonso ya bi se Nasda onyame nhrampanifo no se nye Nasda pagya eni nsonso ya titie ne da me kan se enka Ghana fo bebre ba adwumanti koma jeja sorry because sabi yo me kan 30 times yen panifo obo ha sabi yo wontimi nka brofo so also on kwatena abrofo asorem okwa onti ko be ja sorry ene enuanu bi won so be bodwuma ya enti nyame adom ya keke ho abom mo ma yemfa sa odo na ewe ntem no ne mfa nya adwuma no midima no si wa ha. And so my bottom line is the churches we have in Calgary, in Edmonton, and the Red Deer area no enya kwada so enya makom enya dominance ni semfi anipa buso ho. It is North American context eye baby a ye struggle and you me anyri ho and I am a chance yenko so there are so many Ghanaians in Calgary, there are so many Ghanaians in Edmonton, so many Ghanaians in Red Deer, and he say betumi I reach out to people. I say, yes, you see, some more dom one, nipa nyina be hu said, why am for? That's all we need to do. And they said, do you have some beer? Away moi, me dia ye. Me dia ye. And the make it in answer, Mama the golden rule. Timido, Medimano, I see. Monka say, we know, let me look at my time. When you have time to clear because we have a pastor program to us, questions, feedback from the previous lessons. No, and the rule is when you have chance without question, you need na obinsu emusebi. Nti unyami share one kind ho ni di munti amen. Yes, brother Frank.
Yeah, Prof. Okay, so no, okay, prodigal son. Now, I've heard this story so many times in some ways. But one way I've not heard about it is so the prodigal son came in. And the father cared the best calf for him. Monte, oh, okay. Now, how I mean, we want to say, prodigal son left for some time, and the elder son who stayed, there was nowhere in that story. Father can say, oh, maybe go find out for bra. Now, enkum na mbi want to find a party. Actually, he stayed. But every time we talk, we portray that elder son as if there one year antagonist on pay the balance. But Oiripa, they say, I saw him with him. As soon as you're free, I saw him. And I company Chawan, I can or Ababak. Obabak, a man is a excuse of tenant. I'm an elder. Miss Smith, I saw him all this while. A Dico Grumman. And I should be happy and crap. Say, or no, free coin, and I go for number. A man elder. Now, Miss Smith, you want to obey. And yeah, the question is, why? I don't know, the or no, but Penino, or is that terrible? Said the father didn't see anything good in him. Said, want me to be entertaining and appreciate, say, for you staying there, no, and I ain't come near not or no, Jim Scarrow or buy an idea. Yeah, I appreciate you. Say, Obi or no, what I will say. Oh, ask my question to my feet, maybe you. Now, yeah, if just in the aqua, Chonoba, Obedriano, near an elder. Miss Matson for 5 years now. So she wasn't coming here. Dickin cry, mammy. And I should be happy to say, I'll buy a man elder.
Okay.
Why?
So I said, I mean, he's with me, Yanwa. Chief priest for me, how much my boy. The issue is, I don't think say Papa no ebu elder son no enimtia. O chemu simple just bibia ofia odia. Bibia empakes ye ultimate daso duane ultimate DP. I mean say yenia we crash no. So wo no birthday party crowd where ni bi. The one we that am afon there. Wo mo no ye ko squee on the chop box bibia ye ma until we hear the party. Maybe me chimo nyabo me. And what did he say? Yeah. Okay. All right. My mentor, if you can allow me to finish. He said, the mention say, I don't say he lacked party. Well, yeah, there party with obey me and your party. But let me come back home. Service in the church, and yet, I saw penny secretary, treasurer, whoever. We don't pay them. Okay, we don't pay them. A talent so nyame their mind and the idea. Being in the church for 25 years doesn't qualify you to become an elder. And I saw the man in our say, "Nipa what my son as elder." afutu one say Bible chance say abefo ba yenhwe yie ne amfa nema bi amu wan ko hwinti. And you know say this person can serve as a secretary or by 2 years. Now say me kwa bana machina mu 25 years na me ntimi ntwira. Chinchina is me fanya secretary because machina wache. So that's the issue. Ya debesi yo ne akọ foforo so. Opani ba bo ame. Aha. Yeah.
Apply sir parable no the way I know. One a parable.
Yes.
And a unfinished story. Yes, one can.
Yes.
The third thing they said, he was talking about the prevailing treatment of the Jews to the non-Jews. So now he couched it in a way say, a story.
Yeah.
And what kind no they treatment so being a Juni, na so ba beka nyam Jew for no one. Omo yo no na no cheche. And was say so being a Juni and the person can say being a Juni no obey mu a. Yenya na wa too.
Exactly.
On yama na kwanya no nya kwametem bi. Oba pani no na ono de ya sure. Was it the me wa aka nyina ye ho ade a.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Ya wo de a.
Yeah.
So no. Enti nya fe no oba pre aso pani. Pani so ha so aka.
Yeah.
Sade no me ohene a me pre.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Media.
Yeah, that was pastor that was it. And the pastor there was on I say honor application no man fan for okra and I dey boy no. When 10 year okay kind Isaiah 56 said the pastor can na am a man for come by Israel mu no be am for munya hwe. To say on anani a ode ne ho about Awurade no. Ma o mu say we useless. Very very important. And when yes spiritual application no. And sano yen kon systematically said be ya yen chere ho pi enti yen free ha mic ba ko ha o kasa wi a mso paniya paja ne nsa ne wa ba ho amen. All right, mic ni mi na ba ko. All right, Sister Ada.
Thank you, Uncle Pacho. Ms. Mediana said you gave the 50% of the young people that are leaving the church, which is alarming.
Yeah.
And working with the youth, we also know that even the other 50% that are in the church, they are also lost, like the lost coin.
Yeah.
So are there any, I guess, is there any advice you can give, like, to church members, church leaders alike, for us to be able to retain them more and also maybe pay more attention to the 50 that are still in?
Here's my advice. I'm going to use a story. Okay? Already now call India. Now call far elephants. That Asian elephant, No, nearby US. Okay? Or never once what about Canada. To me a second, so once see a gate, nipa corner omu or jokuna almost serena or muches kamanasa. That kwa bwana has this one misbehave. Obi ba no stamp on no book gate, And so around here say, "O wakope hunters no wa be kun aboa no." Nti one day nipa by pa aboa no he was just misbehaving. To me ya ma dwen so ebe shoot no. And an Indian guy be a buy say, "Oh man, one chance." I hope you are listening to this. Oh man, one chance. No one call cage in him. Anna, Oran say, "Aboy de oye uko obekun. We are Indian ni uko obekun." Also the mamenko. Also you have to sign something. Say if you are stamped by the elephant, obi anyame he signed. Then he went to the cage and started speaking Indian language to the elephant. The elephant started calming down. All the shooters were ready to kill this elephant. The moral of the story is we have to speak a kid's language. It's as simple as that. And that is what is killing our churches. I know some people are sorry just because on Sabbath they were just playing a little ball. Okay? Christ said, Junior, they just Omo kesa ma tia parents ni ade nyina mo titi mo maye mo ba ha na homo dana. I can give you so many examples. I know someone who said, "Mama, man, na mfi ha no obofo frisuwa be bobo ma kun wo mu nyina." I don't know where we get these ideas from. And Jakran Kofia, he's not coming back. Okay, we have to speak their language. So we name language now. And see, as some penny for Muhammad Jumano no. Some man called 4 coin was so no more a pound quarana. If someone has some control some penny for no. So we don't do this. Because about camp, there was hard conversation. My friend, very hard conversation. Questions and Korana was or Ebusano. You can see, say, Enkoye, but we have to work with them. If we are able to speak their language, we can convert them, and we can help them to be converted. That's what I want to say. And that's the only we have to speak their language. So we name sa language na Amen. And yes, we are losing them. Like a crano. That's why no you who the NBO. Sebia as pastor from Babua Mega Crown. I think that's what we need to do. We have to speak their language. And then we know that it takes a whole village. Your Ghana no, you know. Menana Tihono, you know. Uko Dinko as a semi bontia. Oba nya papa no wa me babu. Somebody in the community, some distant uncle be will take care or sure so we nyabuari emubio. So it takes a community. And she said, we say and you say akra nya me ban nti dem pebia meka kire no. Na akra the pain akofie. And you know what? This generation, they are so fragile. And a pastor can statistics. Would you grow? They are so fragile. Make someone anymore. Yeah, school. No, yeah, exams. We are. Coffee men are number one. Near stress. Yeah, when we are failing, they are bored down. I have a question. I'm going to come. You never come. Oh, gee, I sound so. If you Ghana, just say. We need re-education. And it's because we don't read. We don't read. They don't read. Because one kind of man how a name is and we have to help the young people. They are the future of this church. Okay? Mates, you know, they can reach them. Ghana Brafuna Oka, Ghana Brafuka, or Craig how many accents, you know, they have to do that. My sister, help me never end to us. My sister wanted to contribute something and then we can go through the mics.
I'm going to say something, and it may not be very, but it's truth. I have been in relationship with many young people, and one of the things you hear repeated. Okay, over and over, the children are saying the parents are hypocrites. They come to church and display this religious attitude. They say they fight in the car until they get to the parking lots. Or they might, they fight all the time at home. Or they're not very nice. And then, they come and then they tell the children, you have to behave a certain way. But they said it's not being displayed at home. So they said, why do I want to be part of that?
Exactly.
And this is real. Sometimes the kids, I'll just share a little example. One day we decided to honor our children from the 10th grade until, say, university. So we had about 60 kids. It was 35 kids. And we told the church, the adults, you are serving the kids today. we had them dressed formally. And everybody, I had somebody come into the church, decorated lovely, and we told the kids, we are at your service today. They were really dressed nicely, and they came and they would ask for anything. One boy, when he came in, they said, we are going to dress formally. You have to be in the 10th grade or at least 14. So one guy, he was neither. We said, this is the rule. You have to abide by the rule. Another one, he was in my Sabbath school class, and he came with a tie and jeans. Daniel, the pants. Sorry. So I said, Daniel, why? He said, I'm dressed nice. I'm dressed formally. I have a tie. So I said, Daniel, but jeans are not formal wear. So then he was there. I think I called you all the time, and we were talking to him. And then he laughed. He went back to the car, he had his suit there, and he came back. He said, you know what? I wanted to see if you guys had backbone.
That's right. Come to test your results. Yes.
It tests us. So, even despite all of that, there was no humiliation. We had dialogue, and he was able to come back laughing.
That's right.
Right.
Very good.
Yes. So, but the painful part is the one that the kids said, our parents are not what they seem.
Yeah.
And that's painful.
Yeah. So over to us, those of us as parents, we have to show consistent lives to them. By the way, these kids are smart. They are very smart. All right, where are we now?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Opening pacho. Well, last one now, I want some visa question about reclaiming old members or more mobile, maybe. Now say, Obiba, no, maybe. Now, what friend, I say, and Sema, okay, can. And some maybe abba, chem, echo, and so still, Nipacron does wood. Now, I can't want some more friend, no quan worker, or no son. Quite bear now, be fast, so I'll bet me a sign. I reclaim no back.
A good point. Good question, Pa. Do maybe we have to pause. I mean, Obu friend has some corona, I know several of them like that. Some corona, we have to pause. And as soon as we know, say, relationships, Obu how they are out of love now, friend, but it's a one share need close relationships. It's groups, and so here. I say young people there can so when I crown only new relationship. No boss one day now person will be preaching na. So we have to have relationships. See, we there can say nipa so are down for pa de akoso. So when you are down for na ya wait me you any share will be office or close now to us. We don't have but near fine. You pause and pray and fast. Just like Job. Just be there. There could be a man called DBB or outside. Just and can't sort of crowd once. Show something different. So you see, Bibiaba, Millwoods, Bianibiaba for fry, something. Then go to be roti, and go to roti nandy. Right? That I mean, Pastor, we practically you know when I saw Boamio. I mean, yeah. So sometimes you have to pause, sometimes you have to redirect, and yeah, but we don't have to give up. We don't have to give up. In fact, you remember they could have been here. So remember asem kruya, but we don't have to give up. Inshallah, we should be there. Okay, we should be there. Yeah, more Pastor Boam Kakra. Hey, question, Anna. So Pastor, I don't think we have a question. All right, yeah, man, Pastor Nkasa, mommy. Nothing. Yeah, we are a company, so. One Pastor Mike and mommy. Yeah.
Yɛn nyinaa ni bere ne yɛka no dendenne. Thank you very much, Elder. Woka retention no na ɛna woka sɛ yɛbɔ asu koraa no a then our back door no yɛlɔko no.
Yeah.
There's a problem bi a me ne wo namesake yɛadwene ho a discuss ya for years. One who say a church manual now quote the church manual says it recommends that when, and it's based on actually Matthew 28, 19, 20.
Yeah.
That's why I say go. I say the operative words near 4. Go, make disciples, baptize, and teach. Okay. Now, what is happening, sadly, no, in our church today, mimi nuanom ka ho. Somebody for kan ye bo asu a we had the Miricade report to my conference ye nya 10 ye we ntimin create scenario bi na ye so bo no so no e bi kra na ye 1 week of emphasis evangelistic meetings.
Yeah.
I want to challenge you, say one presentation on Sabbath is not enough. And one presentation on Sabbath, one presentation on second coming, one presentation on baptism. Here we are. Yes, yes, bo one may jab a show. None of yam shino, and who so say, for whom I ready, make a sing a man home yagma. One man and sasso, one, I didn't know so. If we are no time, yeah, they do conference office. Yes, Calgary, Ghana, about 10 years.
Yeah.
You need baptismal class beer after meetings, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, church. And it young men who say over time, it be a now one almost and yet non-believers. It be a Sabbath and Kwana no him.
Yeah.
It you know what Baptists are sorry no bompire. What Methodists are sorry no, not only making kind. Into a bar, Nasa young church and bio, na ken can no nim no or the abewrem.
Yeah.
Or ya the end of the moi. Nama mo say, Yame home also. When you so bet my ass opening. Mahu de ayo no. Near ye na so opening. Or ye Baptist Adventist. The one nim war Baptist no the buy. Who said no yet no giving you. Into no what the other way. And the one said, Doc, scenario now critique. And he said, I thought that be a see no aduane no the cheese and no aduane aba. E ho ani akojo no. Wouldn't say you for cheese. What was one church no? Obi an church no. Na the man dangerous crime so mo na. Hey, na wo ni say bra kojo. Nyame si ko di sofo. Nyame so be sofo. E ho ani a hye ni nkran.
Yeah.
Wo aba ha. Wo aba famu. Wo aso go school anye Bible nkwan na akosua o. Wo akọ Andrews University no aba. Well, you're dangerous to chance about the pews, because doctor said, if you say, no, you're born as soon as you're not.
Yeah.
And I can't know nim free, then I saw so coming you. And what they are ninning on them one afraid when you're tattoo, a shan anymore.
Yeah.
And this, can't, what's an hour can't arrows me, no. My cob be no young console. Now, Simbia or cana, as I want to mean challenge you.
Yeah.
Why it? I want to say, a dear for maybe any mako saying.
Yeah.
Into ya on a dog, I big. Into but Kakra mechanism minianum. Yes, you can some means as a go. Make disciples. The analogy I use is a 4-legged stool. So, sorry, any church that is not doing this, going, making disciples, baptizing, and teaching. It cannot stand. And I'm a boy. But some of our churches, we are gradually removing the teaching. And yes, Sabbath school now, I had to get you and I graduate you. But yeah, church of Mano Matias, yes, Member that Christian, yes, Sadia, anyway. It is where yes, hardy and not dog. What's more kind? Nasa will be come from so many at the beginning. I was in a ha. Barbara cross me a what kind of sa? Because you are in church, you can't fault him. Because I say, elder,
Yeah.
Radio him about that.
The pastors, and we can one a Johnny 100 years. So Minka 1 point, Mr. Ramo.
I disagree.
I come as and I'm a Pastor Eric. When we say school, Hano, your religious studies department, you train pastors, right? And when you count young men I want best school, Abaya software. They say, Oma Titi Uma, sorry. They came here. Why it is a microwave? You're turning man about 4 years. We are, and they are making it big because when him casa, has 4 years. You be not to ma sorry. Yes, Adventist Church grandpa. This Sunday, when him preach, when him bibia, and we have a problem. We sa analogy in a 4-legged stool. Nefanya Juma, na church. Open here, more ginache.
Doc Medase. Media no, now more of Uncle question no beside a prodigal son. It's more a call to retention. No, who said it maybe I say, Memenda sir no, being woman we are modern or move free. We jet day over but at the time we tend to forget them, especially about welfare staff. What do you say? It's me koya doye kisia point. A basse, it be a sorry be gratona, be a 500 asset, 200 krana. Now I enter our church board. You need proper welfare for those who are in our more tied to correction every day. Every time I say, more taking care of it. I engine and I quite say, and yes, it be a question of saying, maybe but on the welfare side say. Those who are in laboring every day, no. I see a more yeni because baby any was say, Presby Church, I own no Ubitwa Church no ma ni pakrono 5,000 ni papa toa and then mamma menkasa be having yes money pakro 5,000. Now, women therefore you get $300. Is a one yeni ba ni pie. Also, nyamia no. Obanya oba sorry say ne maame wu a ba kuku jam na obeja yakọ.
Yeah.
If you say mo de munim ne mu bi a ne pastor ken no nipa no nyanti ase yi banti na ese ye din kyerɛkyerɛ no ma no na welfare kakra is bitin di aboa nipa no so no ye de aka ho ama no nti no enye se bi e kudwana na but we should take care of the church members whenever needed.
A very good point. With us, Mama, I'm paying for Mutio. Yet, you can't come home. You have a slammer. But when you have a slammer, welfare is very important. You say, I have bigger class. Let's continue.
Sister Debbie.
My time is about 8:34.
Sister Debbie, so.
Mr. Ramo, 8:40. What I want to do is 8:45. Met Nasi. Na mpeni for na aba. Womba, mim kra me this you no question abusa wo mu. No umma to ask kakra se de be ya. Ye na ebitima kodantem. Right? And you say yeah, me my numbers. Number 1.
Elder Fram.
And so we don't know within 20 musamum.
You better check out.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number we.
What kind of account?
Let me know about the one with some here. What you see, and say, man, I'm quite some coffee. And you know about which of Busama wanting.
The from or 6.
6. The 10 minutes. Yeah,
Okay.
Intentium.
Quick one. So maybe a little bit of a contribution, especially when we censor or disfellowship.
Yeah.
Usually, we find that such people are ostracized.
Yeah.
And I think when it happens to young people, I'm so passionate about the youth. I've been working with the youth for years, so that's why I'm always talking about youth. Yemfan is a scenario, a young person gets pregnant. Maybe sometimes even the boy is also in it. But the way they treat the young girl is like they will never make it to heaven. So how do we, the person already is in a kind of trauma. They got pregnant, they had not planned it. Their school is impaired. And then when they come to church too, it's like they are ostracized. They've done beyond. So we have to be very careful because that is a trauma. They will carry that thing for the rest of their life. It might even impact the child based on what we learned yesterday. So when someone is even disfellowed, we still have to love them because the thing is, that person's one has come. In our language, you say, you get water underneath you because you don't know when it will be your turn. Is in your closet, you have not been caught. But imagine if you are caught, how you would want to be treated. So let's still love these people. Let us not cut them off, but let us continue to embrace them because it could be all sinners. It's just by the grace of God. That's why we make it. So let's
Very
help.
good point.
We are all on the journey. Let's help ourselves to go on.
Very good point. Yes, I golden rule. A very good point.
I want to talk about most of your problems now stems from the things that comes from our mouth.
Oh yeah.
Now, it's been one of the things that I find it very hard, but I know, sister, everyone is different. Now, some pastor bees can, some also don't use the talent that the Lord has not given to you. Sometimes it also means don't just say things for the sake of it. Some people have been saying that sometimes there are some comments that people make that if you don't attend a Ghanaian church, you will not go to heaven. I'll clarify. Nobody says that, but the things that people say sometimes infers that if you don't go to a Ghanaian church, you won't go to heaven. Because of that, some people I have been trying to invite to events don't feel like coming. Because the things people say to them, it's like they have sinned or they are ABCD. But I think that we have to be very careful the things that we say. Because sometimes we just make unnecessary comments. They are not wanted. We just judge people on the surface. And it's not nice. If we meet people, greet them, ask them how they are doing. What can you say to uplift them? And not to criticize them, to say A, B, C, D, and things, because they won't help. And see, this is what I just want to add to
Very good, very good point.
Elder Enoch.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother. I was going to make that point because sometimes the impression is created. So again, nanko Ghana pasora, okra wanya Ghana ezrini. Besubi mkwa, you don't know the personal situation. Timmy, you're careful. The point I'm making is that as I observe when we have problems now, because consistency is not there. But because we cite as the church, and near my or motor is different. Baby, we'll cry with me about it on Sao, was my dear sir, as you assume, Bema, not even Oba. Oka so be for also a different. Tim Rantani Pino, it becomes an issue. Mini maram for pa neba equescu busy as the Asoroko. Or someone I catch up and so wait my chest, my do with my butcher to it my anything. Come as you are. Oko Papa Nasoran so or more principles in a different. It creates confusion. James and Kulani Pino Mufino. These are some of the reasons.
Yeah.
Because consistency is not there. Church A, SDA Church A, oh, this is fine. SDA Church B, this is not fine. So then what do you want them to do? They are stuck in the middle.
Yeah. Very good. Let me make one comment on this. It's true. And they are confused. In fact, because school about was it be a way of fear. He will tell you now the other friend is so almost Adventist or one for new woman almost yes you fear. What we need to do is say, would you be consistent with the principles of when you say, you know, and then do it with love. I did here, pa, Michelle. Say 10 years, Ghana answer Rebecca ye. Say, Sister Debbie, you know, I know we have about 4 minutes. Pastor Vican story reached me. Now, sorry. 2 people, young one, they got conceived. Their parents kicked them out of their homes. No, G-home. Pastor Waya Asoreno, the parents hated him. And they, the young people are doctors. Now, Castor knows, she say, now the parents want to come back. So, what's the doctors got open? And we have let's show Christ-like spirit. That's all I'm saying. Now, I think the pastor and the wife are parents. But anyway, so we have 3 to go.
Pastor, Matthew 20 said you're kind. Or he free so whole bar. You're planning in our baby a discussion evangelism. Reaping. Ye first beyond to offer retention or reclamation. It is a local church, no budget, so a very hard to even do no more. Ye can. It is so honor monocry be a pastor bit me up one more because why a more a I didn't know more channels it can be so encore retention. Not Bribia because most of the evangelists, especially Greater Edmonton. Churches no manner yatiti omona na yesadi omubishia honi are spending 1 point something. No mark of more to the air record. Aden as says can yen diverting mass sorry no nani omunye no na esubonu class hone be ya local. No manya sa stress it can be class Sunday. Aboy programs ebe mana entertaining for the young people to stay there. I don't know if there's any way you bet me aboa man penifo because media baby actually marginally because you bet to see kind of group chat.
Penny fund the beko and if you more such local members now more executive committee or conference near the this is important because at the schools we bring students but we don't treat them well. Quite to say there are holes at the end of the semester. We will call maybe. That's exactly what is happening in the churches. In GSA, Jafra, now we are coming about oh, me about the crown mic. You and Jafra called last question.
When you does now, me my foot to your kakra, me fan is a moaka cram, a day one say. Yenina ye Ghana for. And Ghana ye free buy, I say, ye did a one I say ye did a one yensin. Aya we ya Matiasem no enya asem bia ene yate ena mpanyimfo si dua eben so etwi obi ntimi mfiri ni fie anase baabi a wowo emeka wo ho asem me amene wote fa akono ena metimi aka wo ho asem nti ya na ensem se we ya kame ho asem we ya kame matise no ya twiko ye mu bebre no e ya ade a eha efi se
2 chairs bra
ya ba asore ye ba ho se ye be BBC yani so eni nti ne ye ba ye na mmom nya nsem na ye betete no e na ese ye mani bu ya bem na ye gya asore na se ye ma asore ne ye kotene efie yenhwe ne enti a ye baaye no yenyina heaven a ye pa akonti ena sa abre ye gya ye nwuma ya betena ha sei ebi a obi wokwa adwuma mu na wotwe ne mu nyina ne obi aha no anti bia memenda no a ya behia no ene ye bedidi nkomo ye ho nkomo ne ya sere ama stress no eso ate eno so na bia obi hwe wano a asem a wo ka wo hwe wano saa no wagye ama bi kura emfa ne ho baabia nso obepese obegye ama no se minti no wo ka sei eno emmoa yen na heaven akwantu a yetu ena wo se ye di si ye ni so na ye gya ensem a ye tie ensem e ha adwene
yeah
na me wa ya de pa sama wo kan na osofo bi na soro mu kra sento kwani mu kra soro no nya de to no an kasa wo ha na wa kritin tokwa na afi ono an kasa ko solve na konkonsa kakra nso ma soro no so ye den so sa na wo ka
all right
nanso emwa kra na de opanyini bi kan ya o se de ye ka and the problem say dey ebre yenti yenhwe ye na conversion ɛho hia yɛn paa yɛn bebree no a yɛnyame som na yɛ improve but yɛnyɛ converted na ɛno ɛna ɛwɔ sɛ yɛhwɛ yɛyɛ converted a saa nneɛma no mu nyinaa ɛbɛtwa mu kɔnkɔnsan kakra yɛsɛ yɛboa asɔre no ɛmmoa biara
Amen.
ne ketewa ɛne ne kɛseɛ ɛmmoa
Amen.
ɛna ntɔkwa nso so ɛmmoa asɔre no
Yeah.
sɛ yɛ kɛseɛ sɛ yɛ ketewa ɛmmoa asɔre no na mebɔ mpaeɛ ne yɛn nyinaa yɛbɔ mpaeɛ sɛ asɔre no bɛyɛ void of all these things na asɔre no ayɛ Yesu Kristo nkutoo ɛno ɛbɛboa yɛn ma yɛatumi anyini ne yɛ united mom sen sɛ
Amen. Amen.
yɛyɛ kɔnkɔnsan kakra
And that from last question now, and Konyan can be permian some, but I'm say, and company for Nabaha. So third one come no Banafi. Some questions. Young close the 9:15 or 9:30. And then Friday, I say 9:15. All right. Until 9:15, move with some questions. I won't put 10 here. And that Frank Asadi and quickly now. The two pastors and Dr. Monkunyani. Whilst I leave here, I'm taking my last question.
Media and your question, but
And if I contribution mine.
yeah. Now, presentation, what can be for numbers now? Course to Empire Alberta. Kakra Mahoney say, Yamsanka or Hannah or form. In fact, my co church is very, Grand Prairie area. There was no personal ministry department in the church.
Yeah.
I met a whole conference president. And I'm going to discuss this that way. Mekanya say, when you say churches view on the conference room, only personal ministry department room. Just say, I know big deal. Yeah, just say, yes, some movie in here.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm going to pray, Just say, one meeting house pastor no man this year so that nine judgment. One day I'm afraid elders, no me elders for no me meeting. Obama na your head elder or office. And I may no more discuss here. Say, when say I better have more advantage, be and economy na a booming. Immigrants be now by Filipinos, Africans, different countries in our. There are many ways move to me, Mubenya and Nipa Bebre, Amana Basso. Almost I say, a business saying, and I may come visit International Day. Sunday International Day. Ubia find a chrome for the chrome would be an entire any other. I was about I'm before over the crowd will be no from my drunk. Over see I shall. Nipa omu by sa. But tell me no movie, I a bomb pie, she also. Elder no bomb or soon as you saw afterward. But to pass away by almost all my main free home because programs will be on bet me a bit my better any North America. But and also one of the youth camps, Medeberiano, Pennsylvania. Southern Atlanta, elder, Namiku Jan Colano Quine. Because Nan Colano, youth no camp, only will be a better van, Nipanas or Roko was saying. And I'm taking my Meko. And I said the following day, I'm in Pennyphonico by Tuesday, and then Colano, me jam and tired and be our own catcher, my manners of my family. Near Coeno, programs are you for the year, you from Pennyphonia, I was surprised. Today, only evangelism crack at home. Omuko ye, I could see a you more Cassibimu, and on we check blood pressure and blood sugar near that day. Nipa 17. And they register on the man local church or Pennsylvania on say almost taking care of them. So I don't cry no. There are many programs are better how near that say well know how there's a way. But well in a program being because I think be admitting a conference about big campaign back Kenya.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the best here. That's be ready. My question says yeah, 8:51. And penny phone bet na 9:15 exactly near upon. The very good point. And penny phone right. Na me so me pay be na. I think more few questions no. When we say clock when you do anything from ban mom with cell phone no aye time. Pasamofa also dey ka home. I'm going back. And see one more questions no. Your I'm say 24 minutes. Opening question ho. And you what addressing about and that's what we say
About
sex education. What I found is that most of our wives and then mothers, like their children or our children, they let them see their nakedness to even at the age of 5. But I feel that even you should be in the privacy. But I want you to say something because I've had some discussion that some of them think, oh, they are my child. It's normal, but I think child development now starts early and even it's dangerous. So I get what I mean.
Minim na yɛ mmoa na ɔde boa ho. Ɛm sɛ ɔka yi ano sɛ ɔsɛ dangerous. Yeah. Megye di sɛ yɛnya ahwɛ yie kakra. Me mate bi saa sɛ ebi a ne ba no nti na mmarima ntaa nyɔ. Na megye di sɛ mmarima ha aseɛ yɛ ɛde pɔ ha bɛkɛseɛ bɛ paa. Can you imagine sɛ wo kunu abɔ adagya ne nam fie hɔ? Na ne mma no ɔsɛ mmea me mma no nti nyɛ hwee. Bisa no ɛnyɛ ade a ɛbɛfata ade a ne na mehyɛ mmaa no nkran sɛ mmoa adagya ne nam ɔba anim. Amen.
Anymore? Also for no one no. Question for because now yes I said also for okay. Obana ne nam a obakọ aso dem kra ben so wa no de se koso sonkofo eniema mu eba ne sa emoa na contribution kra koso kra obetuna ye I refer say me ma me papa efie se ne niema emoa kra be ye ne mguase kese nti do so for kan no ano de mfansi wa
the person may be say Emma, ye come the person, and ye be a man, so mu kobi be at the same one.
Well, the female, and as a ma, woman anatomy, no, and physiology no, is quite different. A female under normal circumstances, plus or minus 51, is a normal thing. Because remember, say, ovaries they are functioning and producing estrogen, progesterone, and so many hormones. And we have to also understand that the estrogen is what makes you look more blooming. But they will not continue to function like that all the time. By the age of plus or minus 51, they are gradually dying off. And then when they die off, the body has to find a way. And so sometimes the fat deposit that we have in our body takes over, making estrogen. But it's not as much as the ovary was making. Now for male menopause, is not, they will still continue, they will continue going all over his physiology. No wonder it can become even, don't be surprised that at 80, some even are getting children for the male. Well, 50 plus or minus 51, the woman is almost reaches his end. So both are different, but still the woman, even after menopause, you still continue producing your estrogen, only that what you're producing is not as it used to be. And that is where all those kinds of symptoms will come in. And sometimes it brings about a lot of problems. It brings about a lot of problems because the symptoms sometimes can be very, very unbearing for the woman. And that is why a lot of people will have to go on what we call estrogen replacing therapy to minimize the symptom. The advice is that do not go on these therapies for long. Because the moment you go on it for a long time, it also brings a bad problem in the future. And so we advise that if at all you go on that therapy, try through other means, like usually they will prescribe some exercise that you have to be on a regular exercise and gradually bring it down, because you are hitting yourself with replacement can cause future problems for you, especially you can move into another area. For example, it can affect you with cancers with the breast and so many. But as we said, for males, not very much. They can still do all the functions that they want. Only that the female will have more problems after menopause. I think he wants.
Yes, I would like to add about menopause. There's a lot of signs and symptoms, especially for the woman when we reach that age. That's why it's very important for the partner, for the male, or for the husband to know. Especially, we can have mood changes. We can have even headache of unknown origin. You say, oh, well, I'm always having a headache. Pastor, sometimes you say, oh, I'm having a headache, which is true. And the husband will give Tylenol, right? But it's one of the symptoms of menopause. And you can have palpitations. You can have hot flashes. You can have arrhythmias. If you feel like, some even gynecologists would say, I feel like having a heart attack. But you can't just say, if I'm having that, it's menopause. But you have to be investigated, and you have to go to your family doctor, rule out that it's not a heart problem. That's why it's very important that once I'm that age, I'm menopause, and I had hot flashes. What helped me is exercise, diet, also a lot of prayers. And meditation helps, reading scriptures and keep you calm, and also sleep. And I think also it's, if you have that dryness, because once we get menopause, you have mucosal dryness in your vagina, and that's very painful when it comes to sexual functions. And that's why it's very important for the partner as well to know it. And if you have that, you can actually consult your gynecologist. And there are things that the gynecologist can give you. And also, as Pastor Amos said, different things you can do as husband and wife. And another most important is estrogen replacement can cause, especially those who are prone to breast cancer. My mom had breast cancer, and my auntie, my mom's sister, had breast cancer. So I refuse to do any hormone replacement therapy.
So please, it requires that the men, please, more understanding, especially for plus or minus age 51, please be more understanding, because this is the period most of the family problems may even end marriages. So please bear with your woman, talk with her, and be very, very considerate.
Doctor, Me wa question a mebisa. Me nua bi na ɔwɔ ne 40s ɛna onya far blood. Nti oyi far blood no ɔmo yi ni na wodie ni nyinaa ka ho. Aha. Menopause symptoms yi ɔso ɔno deɛ wɔnhunu kyerɛ wɔnyɛ 60 wɔnhunu bi na afei na ɛbɛba anaasɛ ɛmma koraa.
Emma, this is me expect to say beba. The AN say Emromu a year operation. Omumano initially no omumano estrogen in the form of tablets for some time and stopped. Now the wonderful thing is in Yakubo Kese and American. Even though we ovaries no free hono, something takes place which was producing a mano estrogen. For example, estrogen, baby, fat one, the fat in our body, it mean a produce estrogen. And the acquire say a man, the body have authorized those fat areas to produce estrogen. And he is getting it enough to not to have any symptoms. So I don't expect say BBA beba. What do 60? What do 60? No, no.
My turn? Okay. All right. My question, comma, doctor, and then part of it also maybe the pastors. So usually, Omuka said there's a lot of research that is done in medicine is done towards men. And so for women, there are some things that even though the research is there, it's not women specific. So when we did the stroke, for women, are there any different, because I know some symptoms maybe in men it manifests differently from women because we have the hormone and other things happening. So for the stroke that you talked about, the symptoms, is it the same for women? And I say in women, maybe a slight change because it looks like see for women, stroke and cardiac arrest are silent killers. Sometimes you don't even know it's happening. By the time it's noticed, it's maybe too late. And since you mentioned time is of the essence, what are the things we look out for in women? And also with menopause, with the what did I really? I've lost my train of thought. Maybe I would. It has something to do with the mood swings, and then we talked about the medication and the side effects. But it's like, is there any tips? Like, now I remember. Usually, my kind say women going through menopause, like it has a different impact. So maybe your body changes, you have a lot of fat in your midsection. Maybe to say me I'm slim, you gain a lot of weight. And for most women, like it affects their self-image, self-confidence, and those kind of things. So I wanted to ask, is it always the case that you start gaining weight, or if you are someone who exercises consistently, watch your diet, you would be able to escape that? Because I think about it, I'm kind of almost there, and I do exercise consistently. I just want to be ahead of the game, but sometimes I ask all this I'm doing, maybe I'll end up like that. But I know every woman is different too. But I just wanted to ask, even with the coping mechanism, like if it does happen, because that impacts you mentally. I say, slim, hey, why you? And those kind of comments even affects you more. And I'm slim. When I went to Ghana, people were like, why are you so slim? You should have a little bit of meat on your body. So these are challenges, but how can we manage all these changes that we go through? Thank you.
Well, we must, what I would say is that you must thank God for whatever shape that God has given you, just try and maintain it. But concerning the menopause, I don't think menopause will make you put on weight, except you become less active and then you will start to put on weight. But other than that, it will not in any way go to produce this in any shape or in terms of fat depositions that will accumulate in the body. Even though the fat will be doing some job, taking over the work of the ovaries to produce estrogen for you. So that is not going to affect you very much. And the first part was what?
Was about the stroke for the women, whether the symptoms are a little bit different from men.
They are the same. The only thing I would say, as I got a letter from Ellen yesterday in the morning, was that you can get a stroke without knowing. That is correct. But the symptoms will be very subtle, very, very small. Then it requires a lot of it require some CT scan or MRI to produce or to confirm that a stroke can take place. So you can have an MI or a stroke without knowing. There are some MI, especially for diabetes, that cannot be painful, and it has to be diagnosed because it can be deadly. So it can happen, but it will not produce, menopause will not make you put on weight, except you slow down your activities.
Okay, I will ask a question here for the pastors, again, on the youth. I have a couple of youth in my church that, we are they're on the borderline, whether they should stay in the church or not. And I asked them to give me reasons why you don't want to be here. And one of them was, they feel the church is almost antagonistic to science, right? That when they ask questions, the church are in a position where they feel like they have to provide an answer, right? So when a young person come and they ask a question, even though the person they're asking it to, they have no clue, it's as though they are afraid to say, I don't know, right? It's like we must always have an answer to literally everything, And another one was that they feel as though when they have doubt, or rather they can't have doubt and be in the church, right? That's how I guess the leadership makes them feel. So I guess, I wanted to ask if there are any help we can give to such individuals.
Well, the first part, I will just do the first part of science. The church, as our church, we have no conflict whatsoever now with science, except that we disprove that evolution. We don't accept evolution, but we don't have any conflict with science. That is my part.
Yeah, thank you. There's nothing wrong to tell somebody that I don't know the answer to this. In fact, it is humble to do that. It's a sign of humility, because we don't want to create a notion that we have answers to everything. We don't. And I've often said that to people. I think this morning or yesterday, I said it to a lady here. So, Pastor, I think it also shows honesty that we don't have all the answers. Doctor has responded to the science. I think the way I have dealt with that question is to help the young people. I'll work with them to go through nature for them to help me to understand. But then I'll use that to help them to know that, in fact, science confirms creation. That's how I see it. That there are certain things that they may talk about, but then I would ask them to help me if science can also prove everything, which they know they can't. In fact, sometimes when we look at
the scientific data of certain things. It's just very amazing how they explain it away. And so I do work with a lot of young people, as you do. I help them to understand that science, if anything at all, confirms that indeed God exists and confirm creation.
Okay, let me, I think once they have spoken, I don't think I have to add, but let me say this, as Pastor said. There was a pastor who taught me theology or, let me say, homiletics at Andrew Aswa. And he said, Pastor McKinley, he said, sometimes when he and his family are having prayer meetings or worship, family worship, the children will ask questions that he himself have not even come across or have studied into that. And so he will honestly say, I don't have the answer for you. But what he does is that he will search around and then buy books and then give it to them for them to read. But sometimes if you do that, it is dangerous because they can also end somewhere that is not helpful for them. And so what he does is that he also reads the book himself and then at a point in time helps them or help them to get the correct answer. So as Pastor rightly said, it is good for the church to say we don't know than to try to answer and to even injure them. Once they are at the point of going out of the church or staying, now the church should redouble their steps in helping them not to allow them to go over the cliff and then fall away from the church or get out away from the church. One thing the church can also do that if they have a library in the church, they can also buy books, science books, and then put them in the library and then ask them to read. I remember when I left UK, I bought books, written by Adventist scientists, and they use the scripture to confirm what science have been researching on and a whole lot, and somewhere the Bible also it doesn't go with the Bible. And then they make our stand as Adventists clear in those books. So the churches can go for these books, help the youth to read and to help them to get their feet on. And then at a point in time, one thing they can also do is to invite Adventist scientists from across the world to come and they maybe do some programs in the church regarding science or on science and what the Bible says about science and a whole lot and so forth. That will help the youth to get to understand these things and to get their minds and their hearts settled on these subjects. I think it will help a lot rather than leaving them going astray completely or trying to answer it or trying to help the situation and getting it worse. But then in all this, they should be praying for the youth, befriend them and tactfully and wisely and with wisdom as God gives freely to all. I think they'll be able to help the youth to stay in the church rather than letting them go off completely.
Okay, you're 1 minute, pay.
Just
sorry. 1 minute.
Just to go over just a few things. We do come across a few things in practice. For example, a doctor may tell you that taking a little bit of wine is good. A little bit of wine is good for you to prevent heart attack or that kind of thing. I personally do not entertain that because there has been research that has proved you don't need it. World Health Organization, as I said, have now come with a 0% alcohol intake. That is flat. That is true. The same thing happened with taking, coffee and all those things. I still emphasize it. You don't need it. I will still also emphasize the same thing with cigarettes. So I don't think we are against science. We have basis for it for our belief.
Okay, our time is up. You know what? Remember that from 1 minute, just 1 minute. I'm sure my time now.
Thank you, Elder.
Okay, all right. Let us speak. The Christ in ye other man in the other Mufancheme. Other. Yes, other 30 seconds.
I want to touch about the issue of the youth and the children leaving the church. We have come to a time when most of our church elders, adults, and even some pastors are out of touch with the youth in the church. They will come to walk inside the church, meet a young person, and will not even talk or say hi to that person. And so we are losing our influence on those children. The only time the kids get our attention as pastors and elders and adults is when they do something wrong. That's the only time they get our attention, and it is very, very pathetic. I was in one of the churches. Normally on Saturday, I don't. People say you don't put your phone on, turn it off. I don't turn it off. I put it on. This is vibration. I was on the pulpit with the pastor when I got my phone vibrated, and I checked, and it was from a parent whose son has threatened his father that he's going to kill the father. And in order to prove to the family that he is serious, he cut himself. So the mother called me because I was very much into that boy's life. So I whispered into the pastor's ears that this is what happened and I'm going there. He told me not to go. I said, I have to go. So without his permission, I just walked out and I drove to that place. When I went, the boy was already in the hospital. I was the first to get there before the parents and the siblings came there. And because of this, even now, they stay in touch with me. Everything that boy is doing, they call me to talk about. This is how we get influence on those youth. You don't just address them only when they do something wrong. We should be involved in the youth. As pastors, as adults, as elders, we should be involved in the youth activities and be concerned. Gone are the days when we used to, on Sundays, you call a parent and say, I'm coming to visit your boy or your girl. Just for him, you are not going to visit the family, just that little boy. Go to his bedroom, spend time with him, and you get influence on if this boy is slipping out of the church and he doesn't listen to anybody, he will listen to you because he knows you care about him.
I think this is a contribution, but I would have asked a question that before you left, did you delegate for maybe your second elder? Okay, then that is fine. Thank you.
All right. So Elder Asofo Yinune, Dr. Demasipa for your time. And the Benako point Shama morning day, I'm from wine. Yako point Shama Elder Mones for Betnas Amena Yatwa, so Demasipa. Since we've been talking about the youth, it's time for them now. And to show them that you're so much into know, almost is a mama. Auntie. Oh, any Angie. Hello. Auntie, Ibedi na yeti woman.
I've a message from the Lord, hallelujah. This message unto you I'll give. Tis recorded in His word, hallelujah. that you love and live. Who can live, my brother, live? Who can live? Look to Jesus now and live. Since recorded in his mind, hallelujah. It is only that you love and live. I got a message full of love, hallelujah. A message, oh my friend, for you. Yes, a message from above, hallelujah. Jesus said it and I know it's true. Look and live, my brother, live. Look and live. Look to Jesus now and live. Since recorded in his word, hallelujah. It is only that you love and live. Life is offered unto you, hallelujah. The eternal life that so shall have. If you only look to him, hallelujah. Look to Jesus who alone can save. Look and live, my brother, live. Look and live. Look to Jesus now and live. Since recorded in his life, hallelujah. It is only that you look and live. I will tell you how I came, hallelujah, to Jesus when he made me whole. 'Twas believing on his name, hallelujah, I trusted and he saved my soul. Look and live, my brother, live. Look and live. Look to Jesus now and live. 'Tis recorded in his word, hallelujah. It is only that you live and live. Look and live, my brother, live. Look and live. Look to Jesus now and live. 'Tis recorded in his word, hallelujah. It is only that you love and live.
Amen. Nti sɛ deɛ yɛsua nya de yɛbɛyɛ adwuma na ɔmanya chance sɛ de adi dwuma. Yɛbɛbɔ mpaeɛ de atwa yɛ som no to. Asɛ bɛbɔ mpaeɛ no yɛwie a na ɛda Benji de announcement hɔ nyinaa abrɛ yɛn. Ɛda Obed ɛne ɛda PK mpakyɛ mobɛnim ama me. Ɛda PK and ɛda Obed. Treme, can you please come here please to give us a closing prayer? Ti ada PK bɛhyira yɛde sɛ no so nyinaa mae. Due sɛ ne nyinaa no Nyankopɔn ma yɛnyɛ mmɔ nte aseɛ. Na ɛda Obed nso de yɛhyɛ Nyankopɔn sɛ yɛrɛhome da mu. Ne bɛyɛ nyinaa no sɛ Nyankopɔn ani ne yɛkɔda nso no ɔnhwɛ so ma de pankye yɛn na ɔnsan afa yi mmɛhyɛ mu bio. Mpae mmienu si a na ɛda Benji ɛde announcement na mae.
Mpakyɛ mo ma yɛ mmɔ mpaeɛ. Onyame dɛɛfoɔ yɛda wo ase. Yɛabɛsua nneɛma bebree afiri doctor, afiri ɔsɔfo so hɔ. Udi munti manini na amwaye owe nyame som akwantu yi. Ye tu kwan akoziyo already Israel wo waye ni ntimi emfa disua yembo brown and sembo ni wiase. Yada wase so watie adom ninti. Amen.
Inyame ni abankese da wase. Anyumre ye onam won koaso e de akyerɛkyerɛ ye ni agye. Na megidi sɛ ye nyinaa bɛka sɛ ɛyɛ sɛ ye nyinaa ye wo ha anyumre. Bra homeda ahyɛ ase na wo ma ye befiri ha na fe yakɔdeda ye de nyinaa ye ho hyɛ wo nsa. Sɛ de na atwam no nyinaa okora ye nso a ye ho makyema bi no. Anadwo ye kɔda ye ma ye enso da ye pa. Yu ho di kyerɛ ye. Wo de Yesu nyinaa mu sɛ ne bɛyɛ a ye mfiri ha nkɔ ye mfie mu na yinim sɛ nyame wo hyira ye. Ne ya ma ha kwa na mu ye ba sɛ ye tie de wo ma ye a ye bitin de abɔ ye bra na wo na wotwe nyinaa mu. Ye srɛw sɛ wo na ma na pa. Enti fa ye nyinaa ɛkɔ ye dan mu na ye nyinaa ye nya na pa. Na sɛ wo ha fefe no sampie ye nso a waka ye nyinaa bro asande yaba usisi ase ha ya besom ya betuntun udini ya hye wani munya enkosi sa no fa ye nyinaa yesie e wo don kase na se e wo Kristo Yesu di mu nti amen.
A couple of announcements for tomorrow. Now, Ochinanapa, tomorrow there will be no devotion. So tomorrow we want everyone to spend the time for a personal time with God and have some quiet time. Our breakfast will be at 8, so same time, 8 to 9. Eat light so you don't sleep during the service. Sabbath school best starts exactly at 9:15. You eat fast. By 8:45, you are seated because I'm Bantema. You don't get your sitting place until your power Brantem. Divine service best starts at 11. Now, this goes to our young people. Please, if you are listening, to our young people, tomorrow morning when you are done with your Sabbath school, please come straight here into the sanctuary. All of us will be gathered here, and then we will start the divine service together. The Pathfinders will do their small parade over here, and then we'll follow with announcements, and then we go through a little fundraising. We want everyone to be around fundraising, and then we have our prayer session. The president speaks to us. The president of the Alberta Conference will be here tomorrow, and he will be speaking to us. Once it's done, then the youth will walk out to their worship room and continue their worship there. So that's the arrangement for tomorrow. The president will come to the youth worship place also to have an interaction with you. So get ready, have questions for him, and it's going to be a fun day tomorrow. I think that is about it. Tomorrow afternoon, we are going to have jollof rice. If you are not a fan of jollof rice, no high expectations, but let's pray that everything goes successfully. Okay, on that note, good night, Miss Pa.